Hey, today I want to talk about why your faith in Jesus Christ is just the way forward. You know, a lot of people will be like, well, it's not the way forward for me, so I'm just going to do my own thing. But that's just separating yourself from God. And I understand that too, because I was at that point in my life as well. Like, a couple of years ago, for like a very short amount of time, like about 3 months, I called myself an atheist. And not because I hated God or anything like that, it's because I was just like, who cares and believing in stuff like that. And I don't really remember much about that time, but I just remember my grandma talking to me. She's Christian, and she told me that it was basically stupid that I'm an atheist, and she basically brought me back to God and everything. But even then, it's not that I didn't believe. It was more like, okay, yeah, of course God's real, but I don't really know how to go about it. And only just recently I re reignited my faith in Jesus Christ and God. There's been so much emotions I either push, that I either like not want to like have, and I push it deep down, or there's just emotions that just come out and basically take control of my life. And like last night, I posted impulsively a video, basically just me fucking crying. But I realized that this is just the journey that I'm on. Like, of course, I'm not gonna. Of course, I'm not gonna be perfect. Nobody is perfect. But it's the struggle and the pain that you feel. It's just depending on what you're doing in your life. That's just God's plan for you. And God's plan for me is, I don't really know. But I do know that I have my own plan and God has his own plan, and when they collide, it definitely ruins, not ruins, but definitely takes a different way. It goes a completely different way than what I was expecting. And a lot of people who talk about all this and talk about how their plans change because God has his own plans for us, to tell you the same thing. Like, they were not expecting whatever to happen to them because of whatever. Damn, my fucking wall right here is crazy. But I realize I have this tendency to push people away, and I done it again. I acted very emotionally, and I pushed some friends away, and I haven't. Well, I'm gonna see them probably today or tomorrow at work, but I just. It sounds stupid, but I just plan just to be nice and then be by myself and be a loner again, which is definitely not the way I was expecting. To, that's not the way I was expecting to go down with my life right now. But I, as far as I know, I just need to be alone for a while. It sounds stupid, but I plan to just be as social as possible. The same person that I am, smiling, greeting, everything, but alone. But I'm not alone because I have Jesus with me. And my whole reason for doing this is just to find this part of myself, to heal this part of myself that I always been pushing away. Because, like, I'm not saying that I lost a high quality woman or anything, but she was pretty nice and pretty feminine. And since I ruined this thing with this woman, I realized, there's a difference between degeneracy, casual sex, and committed relationships. And some people are like, oh, duh, of course there is. But in my head, the whole reason I'm talking to girls right now is for the casual sex, degeneracy, all this stupid shit. And that'd probably be fine if I lived in a bigger city and like, you know, it would be not fine, but easier to do. But when you live in a fucking birds, when you live in a small city, a lot of people are really just oriented around what the not I guess the culture, but like the social dynamics of the whole city is, which is just basically just religious shit. And not even religious shit, because relationships are like common, like everybody knows it's just like one on one, unless you're like fucking, I don't know, a billionaire. But I realized after ruining this this thing I had going on with her, I was just like, huh, what the fuck am I doing? Cause I was acting like I didn't want her. I was acting like this guy who didn't want it, but at the same time I didn't want it. So I got what I wanted. I didn't get her. But at the same time, there's another part of me is like, huh, is this the path I want to go down? Is this what I want to become? Someone who's just used to having women come and go? Because that's the path that I chose, and that's the mindset I have right now, which is to be this guy who has a lot of women in his life, is fully committed to his goals, self improvement, all this shit. But again, I think again of what I want deep down, and that is to be a father, to raise children, have a beautiful wife, and all this type of stuff. And after losing this girl, like when I lose girls, I don't really. I was about to say I don't really get too emotional about it, but as you saw from the post last night, I got really fucking emotional about it. I can move on. That's not the big deal because we barely known each other for what, 2 weeks, a week. You know what I mean? So it's nothing crazy. But it was like, huh, we could have done more. You know, we literally had a date planned to go walk our dogs at the dog park. We had talked about like at the end of our date that if we're really gonna be doing this together, we should communicate with each other, talk to each other, be honest with each other. And like in my head, I was like, nah. But in reality, that's what I want. I want a relationship. I want to be able to talk to someone, be honest with someone, talk to them about everything. Maybe not everything because there's some things you can talk to your male friends about, but it seems like I pushed away all my male friends, so well, I don't know about that. But this is just another. I'm just so used to being alone that I'm already used to what I'm doing. I'm already used to just having to put on this persona to make it seem like, oh, he's fine. But in reality, I'm just alone. And as sad as that sounds, I don't really know what I'm doing. Um, I act like I'm better than a lot of people, but that's just an ego thing. I'm just stuck not being where I want to be. And just thinking about this out loud just makes me sound so stupid, but I don't know. I really just wanted to make this video to show myself or just have like I like to journal, but I haven't journaled in a really long time, and I feel like this is the closest thing I have to journaling right now. It's just talking to this camera and finding some peace or some shit. I don't even know. I just know that whatever I'm doing, I don't even know what I'm doing. But All I know is that I gotta stay committed to my goals, which is fitness. That's my only goal right now, because in my community of people, not my community, but another person's community that I'm in, the main thing I heard after, because I'm in a rut, but the one thing they told me is focus on one thing, take baby steps with it, focus on one thing, and then eventually after a couple months you add more things. So my thing right now is to be consistent in like weight training, physical training, uh, calisthenics, and fucking cardio and all this. That's my whole goal right now. And being as busy as I am, I'm making another goal possible with I think my mom's here. No, it's the mailman. But it's to just be consistent in that. And since I'm so busy all the time, it helps with me not relapsing on nofap. So it's like a win-win situation where I not on nofap. I focus on weight training and building my faith with God more. Even though right now I know that I don't want to go to church on Sunday or Wednesday. Maybe next week, but just not this week. This week I think I just need to recalibrate myself and just talk to more girls, because the only way I'm gonna get over this girl is if I talk to more girls, because I can't just get stuck on one girl, because if I do, I won't be able to move past this. And if I don't move past this, I have a big fear that I'm just gonna become I'm gonna fall back to my old ways of just becoming a full-on loser. And I don't want that. I really don't, because that version of me is so fucking weird and so awkward and so like that everybody can feel that energy. And the energy I'm building up now is 10 times better than that. 10 times better than that. That's the whole video. Now do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, and never give up and push past your limits.